They all grilled Kyle about not investing in Carl's business. And then Jesse, in a, I think, classy way, and I think this is probably what you were referring to earlier, he pointed out that Carl was upset and that he understood Kyle's position, but the two should have a conversation.
Absolutely. A point for Jesse. I think he handled it really nicely because he wanted to make Kyle understand that Carl was hurt, but he did stay neutral. And it reminds you, like, Jesse does have good qualities. I don't think a boyfriend is one of them at this stage in his life, so I wish he would just own that like West does. It would be a better look for him. He said it to Kyle in a way, it wasn't gossipy or malicious.
Yeah.
If anything, he wanted to make sure it didn't turn into a bigger deal or cause a wedge.
Right.
Welcome to Cocktails and Gossip, the podcast where we drink cocktails, but you better believe we're going to spill the tea. We chat reality TV, celebrity blinds, and the hottest tea from BravoandCocktails.com. And as always, it's all alleged and just for fun. We do not verify our blinds. I'm B.
And I'm Amanda. Let's get into this week's tea.
What's up, cocktailers? Hello, Amanda.
Hi, co-host B. Hi, cocktailers.
Co-host B.
Co-host B of our 200th episode of Cocktails and Gossip. Can you believe it?
First of all, I would like to apologize. My insufferable voice is more insufferable this week. I don't know if it's from cheering at youth sports, allergies, a combination of both, but I'm losing my voice. But I cannot believe, in some ways, I feel like we've been doing this pod forever. And in some ways, I feel like it was like last week that we were trying to figure out audio and sound and how to do the damn thing.
Completely.
I feel like we understand the rhythm so well of doing it. And
I'm actually looking. I should look and see how many, including our bonus podcasts, that we have done. I want to say we're almost at 400.
Because we do a bonus pod every week.
Yeah.
Have we always or did I feel
No, we didn't always, but then we've done extra. So right now I'm looking, it says on our host that we have 379 episodes total. Anyway, you know what? All of you guys that are listening, we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all the support. Don't forget to tell your friends about us.
Yeah. You know what I always say? I don't say it. I post it like on Thanksgiving or any holiday. I try to remember to. When you're with your friends and you think pop culture, they like Bravo or whatever, please mention us. Because if you love us, then your girlfriends, or like when you get together with your college friends or your high school girls or your mom friend, whatever crew it is.
That's
like the biggest compliment when someone's, oh my God, my friend so-and-so told me to follow you. I love that.
And we all know who our Bravo friends are because that's one of the things we talk about when we get together, which is why we also do that here so that we can talk with all of you guys.
It's how we got started because I feel like I was boring my real friends because there are people who watch Bravo and then there are people like you and I and the cocktailers who are fanatical. And yeah,
we like to go a level deeper. And then we obviously want to know all of the real gossip of what's really going on. Because if you've been a cocktailer for even a day, you know that what we see on screen is not always representative of what's really going on. Case in point, Amanda and Kyle.
Yes.
Living apart and separating before BravoCon, but still doing couples appearances together and being on the panels together at BravoCon. They weren't talking about being separated by then, but cocktailers knew.
Exactly. Do you know? Oh, random tangent, but I have to say it. I love when I enjoy a show so much that I miss it. I am missing Shah's Persian style. I'm so annoyed there were only 9 episodes. I haven't heard cameras are up, but if you guys are listening, production over there, please get those cameras up.
I wonder if they'll be filming this summer because, and guys, this just occurred to me, so I haven't looked to see it, but if they have the same production company, maybe they do film at the same time, just different days as the regular Valley.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is me really hoping that's the case so we get another season soon.
We need another season. And I saw that the ladies minus MJ minus Sky were with a new girl. So I'm thinking she's probably joining the show. A new Persian girl. Her name is
She's gorgeous.
Oh, they're
I forget
all
her
so
name.
gorgeous.
They're all so gorgeous.
First of all, can you guys give me some of your hair? Like, they have that gorgeous, all of them have this gorgeous silky dark hair, which I have dark hair. It was silky when I was young. I have all the stuff, but it takes me a lot of expensive product for my hair to look the way it used to just look when I would wash and go. These are things.
Yeah.
People talk about aging, and it's funny. Before I started aging, we're always Asian, right? But I remember
Before I became an experienced ager.
right before I was like deep in the depths of aging, something they don't tell you because you expect the wrinkles, but something they don't tell you is things like your hair just starts to look dull.
Yeah.
And I find myself now when I'm around the youths, the Utes, as they said in My Cousin Vinny, like noticing things like shiny hair. Like shiny hair is something that women in their from mid 30s, I'm going to call it, on need to like actively find products and work on. It does not just happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I have experienced the same. So yeah, that's why one of the reasons is because of my hair has changed over the years. That's one of the reasons that I know you love it too, that we love Nutrafol so much. Not an ad. We just love it.
We do love it. Code Gossip, it is one of our supporters. It's not an ad this week. But yes, it is. It's not good.
Yeah. Are you guys
But
feeling
I
nice
always
nicer
say,
weather?
I
Oh,
always
you
say,
always say what? Tell me.
aging is obviously better than the alternative, and I hate
Oh,
to,
sure.
so we're keeping it light. We know that it's not the end of the world. I am getting nicer weather, which apparently my body is rejecting. But New York this week has felt like spring. It is. As I get older, I was not this person that was like, have to be in the sun. We all like it, but I don't know. I feel like as I get older, I am the old lady sitting on my porch when we get a nice day, having an iced coffee. A shout out to my Dunkin' guy, by the way. Also, Dunkin' doesn't sponsor us, but they should. I went in yesterday and I'm there every day. My kids are often there. I'm like, oh no, I should have ordered an iced coffee. As wacky as I am here, I am in real life, guys. And my guy was like, you want an iced coffee? He just immediately made one and handed it to me. And I was like, no, you didn't have to. He's take it. I'm in iced coffee mode. Although it's getting cold and it's going to snow tonight. But like the worst is over, Flurry. We'll be fine. We're out of it.
Yeah, for sure. I always say we're going away next week and like he needs to charge his batteries because he is very much one of those people who like has to be like, I love a sunny day, but like he's one of those people who like needs to be outside and recharge that way. And I also feel like the nice thing about spring, like the nicer weather brings out the kid in me. And I know this is such a weird thing to say, but this is a real urge that I have when it's one of the first days and it's really warm out. I have this urge to lay on the warm pavement.
That is really cute.
I know it's so weird, but it's a really strong I wouldn't do it like on a city sidewalk, but like a pool deck. That feeling of the like heat.
I would do it on a city sidewalk, given a couple glasses of Prosecco. You know what's so funny? In that vein, this week I got home and there were like 7 bikes in my yard and noise coming from my backyard. And if you live where there are seasons, as Amanda and I do, the winter is great. It has so many great aspects of it. And there is a little bit of a hibernation, which sometimes, honestly, I don't mind. I like slow Sundays with my kids and my husband in the house and like cooking and I like that. But hearing it and the kids are back in my yard and the bikes are back on my lawn and I am like, I'm ready. I'm so ready. Yes.
That's the best. I love it. Okay, so I have been dying to talk to you about Ladies of London. The first 2 episodes dropped last week, and thank you to whichever cocktailer told me there were 2, because she was talking about something on Discord, and I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, there were 2 episodes. I was like, yes! I went back and watched the second one. So you guys know that we record on Thursdays, so we haven't gotten to see the 3rd episode yet, but I am obsessed already. Whoever these casting directors are that cast this show, promote them. Also, maybe put them to work in Miami. But it gives me so much hope for the future of Bravo because I feel like there's been so much conversation about the future of Housewives shows, the future of Bravo shows. Are they getting too overproduced? And then you get a lightning in a bottle cast. I feel like this cast is. These women are truly, and Mark, are truly interesting. They're dynamic. They're delusional in the good way. Let's go. I'm excited.
Hooked immediately. There was an energy about it. I love London. It is so important. And Amanda and I have said it, and a lot of cocktailers and fans of Bravo have said it. There are some shows, Roni comes to mind, Beverly Hills comes to mind, Salt Lake City, where the city itself plays a character. And in this case, it had me longing for a glass of wine at a garden party, walking past Windsor Palace.
Yes.
It felt like The Real Housewives meets Downton Abbey, which I think for many Americans, the English, there's a lure there. There's something. It is so true. We're so different. Especially when I was like in my 20s, very into chick lit, the chick lit.
Oh, yeah.
And
Books.
I was very into reading books about young women and their lives set in England, usually London. I was very into, and it's funny because there are so many parallels to right? So I was a 20-something in New York, so many similarities because it's like another well-known metropolitan city.
But are you saying period pieces or like Bridget Jones?
Like Bridget Jones, like real chick lit.
Yeah.
Drivel.
Yes.
Give me a book like that, like a beach read.
I agree.
About a girl who meets a guy, like that silly stuff. I love English period pieces too, a la Downton Abbey.
So do I. Yeah. And then there's the whole Made in Chelsea that I think I need to go back and watch because I never watched it.
I never did either.
So Mark Francis Vandelli comes from there. But let's go through the rest of the cast. So for those of you guys who are cocktail party members, I believe we only talked about this on the bonus pod. So if you go back to our June 4th of 2025 bonus episode, we did a mini dive on the cast. So we talked quite a bit about Lady Emma Thin, Marchioness of Bath, and we'll talk about her again in a minute. But we've got her, we've got Martha Sitwell, Lady Martha Sitwell, Mark Francis Vandelli, Margot Stilley, Missy Bakiri. I hope I'm saying that.
Did they call her Missy?
Or Missy. Okay, that's easier for me. Lottie Kane, Kimmy Murdoch.
No relation to the Murdochs.
No relation. Micah Meyer and Dara Huang. So we've got a little bit of British aristocracy, and then we've got some international characters and expats.
We did do a little mini dive, but again, I always say this, until I meet a cast, like reading their bios and even talking about that, it doesn't come to life for me until I see them on the screen.
Yes.
So Lady Emma, she lives on Longleat. It is one of Britain's most famous. I'm fairly certain they said on the show it's the largest home in England. So it's an Elizabethan mansion with a safari park. It is located, I believe she said, an hour and a half outside of London. It's been in the family for more than 400 years. Lady Emma is the real deal, true royalty. And there's scandal there because when Emma married into the family in 2013, how do I say her husband's name?
Seelan? Is it
Seelan? Maybe it's Seelan. It was all over the press that Seelan's mother, Anna Thin, disapproved of the union, allegedly because of Emma's race. So Emma has Nigerian heritage, and she's been pretty outspoken about how difficult emotionally it was for her to have rejection from her fiance and then husband's family.
And she is still, to this date, so they got married in 2013, she's still to this date the only person in aristocracy of color, which is
crazy.
Shocking.
Absolutely shocking. Reportedly, Sewin did not invite his mom, so obviously that led to their wedding, led to a prolonged rift. His father was known, this is a little interesting, T, for having a very eccentric lifestyle and wifelets, which are mistresses, and they were living on the estate. Now, granted,
Dear
the
God.
estate is probably the size of some small towns, but you could see that the family dynamics were already unconventional. So I find it so strange that it's more shocking that the son married a woman of color than his father having wifelets on property. Excuse me?
Freaking patriarchy.
Yeah.
I guess Seelin, and if we're saying this wrong, definitely correct us, guys. We never ever purposely want to say somebody's name wrong, except for back in the day where I started calling Raquel every other name
Eh.
possible. But respectfully, I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. Cocktailers, these days, and actually all the days, I'm all about quality over quantity, especially in my closet. If it's not well made and it's not versatile, it's really just not worth it to me. And that is one of the many reasons I love Quince. The fabrics feel elevated, the cuts are thoughtful, and the pricing actually makes sense. So I have to tell you guys, I got the Quince Bella Straight Stretch jean. And the reason why, well, one of the reasons is I found that these days it's kind of hard to find denim that doesn't have holes in the knees. And I needed something that I could wear to meetings at my kids' school, things like that, that I would feel are a little bit elevated, a really good length, because one of my other struggles is I have my jeans that I wear with tall shoes or heels, and then I have my jeans that I wear with tennies, and I needed something that I could wear with more of a casual shoe, wear to sports, that kind of thing. And these Bella Straight stretch jeans, the fit on them is so great. It's got some good stretch in it, so they feel super comfy. The waistline, the waistband doesn't really dig into my waist. Some jeans that don't have as much stretch. I love them. I'm actually now looking at going back and getting the Bella Stretch wide leg in a different color because I am loving these jeans so much. And speaking of high quality, I've washed the jeans now twice and they feel the same as when I pulled them out of the box from Quince. Quince makes high quality wardrobe staples using premium fabrics like 100% European linen, 100% silk, and organic cotton poplin. Lightweight cotton cashmere sweaters are perfect for this time of year where you go outside and it's so warm, but then it gets chillier at night. And you definitely can't miss their seasonal colors and prints for spring. Versatile, well-made pieces that make getting dressed simple. Right now, go to quince.com/cocktails for free shipping and 365-day returns. That's a full year to wear it and love it, and you will. Now available in Canada too. Don't keep settling for clothes that don't last. Go to quince.com/cocktails for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/cocktails.
Back in January, I had all these goals. Cook more at home, stop ordering takeout every other night, and actually clean up the kitchen before going to bed. If you're anything like me, by February, and definitely by March, most of those resolutions slip a little. But one thing that actually stuck for me this year is cooking at home more. And a big reason is my Caraway cookware. I am not exaggerating when I say it has made weeknight cooking so much easier. The ceramic surface is naturally slick, so I barely need oil or butter. Eggs literally slide right out of the pan. Cleanup takes like seconds, which if you're cooking for kids or your family, already exhausted after work, it's everything. Something that really matters to me is what my cookware is made of. Caraway's cookware has a third-party tested, non-toxic ceramic coating made without forever chemicals. So I feel better about the food I'm making for my family and myself. Caraway also has gorgeous butcher blocks made from walnut and maple wood. And their Bakeware Plus collection is perfect for everything from weeknight roasting to baking on the weekends. Same non-toxic ceramic coating, same easy cleanup. And I'm clearly not the only one obsessed. Over 100,000 people have rated their Caraway kitchen 5 stars. So if you've been wanting to cook more at home or just want cookware that actually makes life easier, Caraway's cookware set is a favorite for a reason. It can save you up to $190 versus buying them individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/gossip, you can take an additional 10% off of your next purchase. This is an exclusive deal for our listeners. So go to carawayhome.com/gossip or use code GOSSIP at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic kitchenware made modern.
He didn't inherit the title and the estate until 2020. So it was then that he and Emma modernized parts of the estate, put in this safari park. He opened up the estate, which some people considered way too commercial. But as Emma said herself, it's now one of the biggest tourist attractions in the world. And you guys, most of us have seen Downton Abbey. Those estates are mostly not intact anymore and have gone away because of the expense of keeping them up. Because back in the day, the reason these lords and aristocracy were able to support these huge estates is because farming, and they had all the people who lived and then paid rent. And that's why, but really around World War II, I believe, is when all of that really started to change. And so they knew, Seelan and Emma, that if they didn't let the public in some way, they wouldn't be able to sustain the estate because it's so big, it's so expensive.
Right.
Obviously, it got mixed reactions, but the wider public saw them as bringing relevance and diversity to Britain's upper class. So I have a feeling Emma will be one of my favorites on the show.
Absolutely. I agree. I like her. She's beautiful. And she wasn't born into it, but there's something so regal about her. And since we didn't know her before, it's hard to know I don't know. I feel like that's a characteristic you're born with, which could be one of the reasons her husband was attracted to her in the first place. Because if you're from that lineage, there's something in you, I would imagine, that wants to maintain that aura. Let's call it an aura. I don't know.
Right.
Then we have Martha. So Martha's interesting. She grew up very privileged, but as a teenager became homeless. And while she was homeless, she was discovered by Vivienne Westwood, who launched her modeling career. She later married a baronet, which she says is the lowest ring on the royalty chain. So she became Lady Sitwell. The marriage ended very public divorce. She says on the show quite a few times that she walked away with her title and very little else. Since then, she has made a name for herself as a designer of luxury riding wear. She's regularly in the society pages. She's got, as we can see, a very sharp, interesting sense of humor.
Yes.
And she's just, in the first 2 episodes, she's outrageous. She's honest. In 2026, in a Times interview, she said, "I have a checkered past. I smoked crack, but only once, in a men's toilet in Leicester Square." I have to say, I'm not a bird person. Birds flying in a house, I don't know, it does something to me. So I don't love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Okay. So I think magpies and crows are super cool because they're very smart and can be very well trained. You guys have probably all seen in Norway or Sweden, I can't remember, they have now trained the crows to pick up litter, and there's like a little machine that for every piece of litter the crows bring, then they get a treat. I am so fascinated by them. I always joke with my family about trying to get one of our neighborhood magpies to do my bidding and exact revenge on I don't have any enemies, but if I did,
Oh my
for them
gosh.
to exact revenge on them. They're so smart. I'm fascinated by them. But having one fly freely around the house and poop on everything, like there's poop everywhere.
I can't.
No,
Skeeve.
I
I
can't do that.
skeeve it.
We need to have an outdoor magpie. But I think Martha will be our Delulu is the Salulu Lady of London. She definitely goes to the beat of her own drummer. She's talking about how she wants to redo her place, but oh yeah, and there's all the poop and doesn't really seem to care about that part.
Yeah.
And then I had mentioned that on Discord, some of our cocktailers were talking about Mark being on Made in Chelsea, and that in general, I think a lot of fans are excited to see him. I haven't watched that show, but I am super excited to watch him. Did you watch? You said you didn't watch.
I didn't
Made in
watch it.
Chelsea.
I too want to go back. So far, Mark seems like he's going to be the scene stealer. I would not classify him as a villain, but he stirs the pot in a way of keeping things moving and interesting. And it almost seems like he's the nucleus and everyone comes to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we all know somebody like that in our lives. I think your dad might be like this, not like Mark, but the person where you walk into a restaurant and it takes them 10 minutes to get to the table because they see all these people they know and they're hugging and saying hello.
Yes.
That's what they said about Mark. Seems to know everybody and be really connected. I think he's going to be the deadly shade thrower. Think of a Phaedra.
Yeah.
And I liked that he immediately told us about his struggles with his father and said, I bought a house so I could try to be closer to him. I'm trying my best to be back in his life before it's too late. I thought that was very endearing.
Do you know what I thought of when he said that? Because on the surface, when you hear your father lives in Italy and you live in England, that's really the equivalent in American standards of someone's father living in, say, Florida. And because I know my cousins in Ireland, in the summer, they go to Spain, they go to Italy. So it's not that, I don't think it's that odd in the same way as I think it's more like living in another state than living, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Margot, she is from America, model, actress. She's been in Vogue. They spoke a lot about her controversial film where they basically called it a porn. They threw some shade at her. She had an unsimulated sex scene, which means in the movie she was actually having sex. She's now married, 3 kids, sober. They touched upon that. She made it seem like she got sick of partying and just decided to dry out.
Yeah.
And we're watching her try to re-enter the London social scene.
As a sober person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the movie, guys, of course, I looked it up. It's called 9 Songs. It is available on Google Play, at least as of my Googling. I think we might need to watch it. So I found a link to the trailer for the movie, and we're going to put that on the website. Definitely spicy looking. So I think it could be an interesting watch and some good bands. It's all about the rock scene. But yeah, that is definitely not the norm to have sex scenes that are actually real in a regular feature film.
Right. Definitely very European.
Yeah. And then we've got Missy, the Swedish model, single mom, rebuilding her life. We've already met her therapist. I guess she was on Ladies of London, but I don't really remember.
I don't either. And I Googled it and saw that. You and I and our fish brains, we don't have great memories. So we're not going to remember.
She wasn't one of the main characters.
No.
Maybe she was introduced as a friend or something. Okay, one of the people I think is maybe the most fascinating is Lottie. She's from London. She's a graphic designer. She works with her husband, who is a very flamboyant and proudly fashion designer, who is straight. She announced that she was pregnant. That whole thing about that dynamic, I'm just fascinated by that dynamic of how she said, we love to go get manicures together. And obviously he loves fashion, but he's straight. They're fascinating. And then Kimmy is a Haitian American antique dealer.
And a character.
Total character. And watching this show, I'm like, are we going to start to see these 40s style curly bobs? Because
yes,
both Kimmy and Martha have it, and it looks amazing on them.
it does. I'm down for it. I like a good bob.
And then we have Micah, who does etiquette, and I think she just seems to be very sweet and wants everybody to like her. And she has an etiquette business, and she's trying to have it fit in, trying to build it here in London. We've already been told that she thought she was really good friends with Dara, who we'll talk about in a minute, but Dara didn't seem to have the same things to say about her.
So what's interesting about Mika is she seems lovely. And I think Mark did say she's the nicest person. Like, she's the nicest lady I know. And Dara at Mark's garden party became the topic of conversation. The ladies spread, one lady said it and they just all ran with it. I shouldn't say all, a few of them ran with it. And Micah very much had Dara's back, and she really waxed poetic about their friendship and that they had met in the States and then they were both in London. And then you see Dara in her confessionals being asked, and she's like, we're not close. She was above her, so much so that she called her cringe behind her back to Missy. Here we have the Madam Rumor. She is a Harvard-educated architect and entrepreneur. In the second episode, at a dinner, when she's confronted with the Madam Rumor and then confronted with her calling her supposed friend Micah cringe behind her back, she just quits. And what was really odd was she went over to production and we saw it. I'm done with this show. I don't want to do this. This isn't for me. Yeah, I said those things about her. And then went back, sat at the table 3 feet away. She was like, I never said any of that.
I know.
What, girl?
I know.
You're
She tried to have her bravo, bravo moment. I think Dara just seems really mean. Honestly, I was going to say, maybe they weren't really that good of friends, but it's still just mean to call her cringe. But here's what I think is really interesting. I did a little more digging on Dara. So Dara, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Dara, was previously engaged, and she had a baby with a man named Eduardo Mozzi. He goes by Edo. He cheated on Dara with Princess Beatrice and then married Princess Beatrice in a secret private wedding ceremony.
And didn't they have children, Dara and Edo?
They had one boy.
So now
yes.
Princess
They
Beatrice
had
is
not
the
gotten
stepmother.
married.
Right.
Yeah. They were engaged, had a baby, but did not get married. He cheated on her. Think through about Beatrice. So Beatrice has been facing scandal due to both her parents, Prince Andrew, who is no longer a prince, and Lady Sarah Ferguson being prominently in the Epstein files. So this Madam Rumor could come from her association with them. I don't know if that...
Oh.
I don't know. It feels like a strong coincidence to me. But even if the Madam Rumors were not true, I think that we saw on camera the moment she realized she had to jump ship because of all of the heat. Because there was, if you guys will remember, there's been heat on Prince Andrew for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years at least since Virginia Giuffre published that book. And so then these Madam things, and yes, she's not directly tied to the family, but very much indirectly. And I think she could have realized, like, this is not going to be good. The royal family is going to be upset. I've got to nip this in the bud. So
Micah actually was asked that by Andy on Watch What Happens Live this week. And he said, do you think she quit because her child's stepmother is Princess Beatrice? And Micah was like, no, I don't think that had anything to do with it. But I think it would make sense. And not that I'm a huge fan of Dara. We only met her those 2 episodes. But it does suck because she was a regular citizen, albeit a successful one, right? But she was just a regular person who had a child with a man. And then the man got involved with the royal family. And now, like, you're going to be because she's also successful in her own right, you're going to be a topic of conversation. And one thing I can tell you, and you know this from when you studied in Florence, if you think American tabloids are crazy, the English take the cake.
Oh, yeah.
They are brutal, ruthless. We're remembering back when we studied abroad, like all the headlines, Hello Magazine, really beyond. I think you do make an effort to stay away as much as you can. And maybe things had already started. Maybe she didn't think her connection would make the news, and maybe it started to, and then she realized, I'm not going to get a good edit, and she panicked and jumped ship. Which, interesting, on Watch What Happens Live, they said that she was at a dinner party, I forget who had it, around the time of filming, but she had already quit the show and cameras weren't there. So she is legitimately in the circle. I do think I can see her having FOMO and coming back next season. I'm going to be honest with you.
And I think it's interesting, too, because this is not her first scandal. When Edo, her ex-fiance, cheated on her. Edo's parents came out, funny you mentioned the tabloids, came out to the tabloids saying how displeased they were with that whole situation that he cheated on her with Beatrice.
Oh, they took
It's
the ex's side.
they
That's
took the
interesting.
ex's side at that point. Who knows where they are right now. I'm sure one of our British listeners can probably catch us up a little bit better on that. But a lot of mess there, which
Yeah.
makes her interesting.
Speaking of interesting, we got an email that I really hope is true. I want to know your thoughts on it. It says early discussions of Maura Higgins from Traders. That's our Irish friend who says Tink. Joining Ladies of London season 2. She has a growing following, is close in age to the cast as she's 35 years old, and is getting more into the fashion world. Bravo, Peacock family, love her. It would help get younger viewers from Traders to watch the show. Thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh, please put her on our televisions now. I love her.
And I saw some
think she'll be
people
fun.
comment on when I posted it, and they said things like, well, if she's not really friends in the group. When you're in your mid-30s and you're in the social circle, you could click with people very easily. I don't think that's a huge hurdle, especially because the rest of the women and Mark are so closely connected. I think she would be perfect. Kyle Cook also was asked, I don't know, in some podcast or interview or whatever, is there anyone in the Bravo sphere who he'd be interested in dating? And he said, oh, that girl from Traders that says Tink, she's gorgeous. That would be
He's
such
right about
he's right about it. And I can't picture it. But
No, I can't either.
even though Kyle's older, he seems younger.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Please cast her now. I think she's fantastic. I want more of her on our televisions.
So if you're not watching Ladies of London, get on it. You're going to love it. But we have a lot incoming regarding Jersey. So I'm going to throw out what we're hearing. So regarding new casting, Gia Casey, her name has been mentioned. She's been approached several times. As a matter of fact, we have another email that she was slated to get her own show in 2018. It was a Variety article, and there was a bunch of shows in there that never came to fruition. It could have coincided with COVID if you think about it, because 2018 there were plans, and then 2020. Gia is married to DJ Envy. I believe it's a nationally syndicated morning show, The Breakfast Club. Certainly us in the tri-state area know who DJ Envy is. They have 5 children. They live in North Jersey.
He's a radio DJ,
Yes.
not a Kyle Cook DJ.
So he's a radio DJ, but these guys do like club events and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm sure at some point in his life, if he doesn't still, he did. But he's
More like a radio show.
Yes, he's got
radio show host.
So the Breakfast Club
Got it.
is like a huge nationally syndicated show. Maybe it's more popular in the New York, New Jersey area. The couple's been very open about the challenges in their marriage, including DJ Envy's past infidelity. They even wrote a couples book together about working through it.
Wow.
One of the main reasons that Gia passed on the show in the past is because she didn't want to be the only Black woman on the cast, is what people say. But they say that she could always bring one of her close friends, maybe not full-time, maybe friend of. She is friendly with Teresa. Her children attended the same school as the Gorgas. She has test filmed. So we're looking at Teresa, we're looking at Melissa, we're looking at Dolores. Right. Margaret's name is in there. I think if Marge comes, there's a chance we'll see Jen Fessler. Amanda and I got an email yesterday. It may have actually been the night before. Andy was attending an executive meeting at NBC regarding Jersey, and he actually confirmed that, I believe, on his radio show. The other newbie is Amber Sabathia, whose husband is a baseball MLB. CC Sabathia, who has his own host of cheating rumors, allegedly. Got a lot of DMs about that. Run over to cocktail party for the intel. And then this Christina Pastina's name always comes up. I imagine she'd be more of a friend of. Her connection would be through Dolores.
And Natia Ruffalo, who I believe it was this morning you posted.
Yes, Natia Ruffalo.
A picture or video of Melissa with her. Yes.
And what's interesting and what our emails and intel have said is you're looking at Gia Casey. Her husband's on a nationally syndicated morning show, big money. Amber Sabathia, we know that former Major League Baseball players have big money. North Jersey is a very wealthy place. A lot of wealthy people move there from New York City. So I think we're going to see some real wealth in Jersey. If this is true, I'm hearing mixed things. I heard that Teresa was specifically told keep 3 months clear starting in May. Someone else said, I don't know. Some of the women have summer stuff planned. Frankie Jr.'s wedding is in the summer. If cameras are back up and running, New York had JFK Jr. and New Jersey has Frankie Jr. He is Jersey's prince. That boy is so sweet and beautiful. I can't wait to meet his fiance. I imagine she's as adorable as Dolores and Frankie and the Catania family are. I picture her sweet, and we know she's beautiful because we've seen pictures. Yeah, I believe it. Andy confirmed it. I feel confident saying Teresa, Melissa, and Dolo are back. I feel confident saying we are going to see some names that we recognize, real money. I'm not sure if it'll be summer or fall. I don't know if contracts are not signed. I don't know if that's completely ironed out. I think there are pluses to everything. I think the summer makes sense for reasons, especially with Frankie's wedding. I think the fall makes sense because we all are yearning for a Jersey Christmas.
Yeah, I know. I was going to just say the exact same thing, but it's also so nice to see them go to the shore and drink too much at Missy G's.
Yes.
Either way, just let's go. We want to see it. You've done your job, Bravo. You've made us miss it.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Oh, I know you had a couple of tidbits about Roni and Golden Life.
Roni and Golden Life. I can tell you that Ultimate Girls Trip will premiere in June ahead of Next Gen New York City. By the way, a little birdie told me Ariana and Hudson are in Miami currently together. A little rekindling happening. Roni was spotted today at the Colony Hotel in Palm Beach. No cameras, which is odd.
Golden Life or?
Sorry, Golden Life.
Okay.
Roni is in Cali,
right.
LA. I mean, we just got a lot going on. And a lot going on with good sources that like to send us stuff. But we would be remiss if we did not dive into Summer House.
Definitely. Okay, so Jesse confirmed this week that he knows that Sierra doesn't want to be casual and that he was dumb to, say that he just wanted to hook up. I think you clocked him a few weeks ago when you said you thought that he was doing this for the cameras, and I couldn't agree more. I think he's just coming off so badly, and his, I think, hoped for redemption arc coming out of last year when he treated Lexi really badly. He's still got some more digging out to do.
He does. I will say, Jesse, there was something in the episode I liked, which I'll mention when we get to it. But I feel like he took accountability. If Ciara's willing to let it slide, then we have to. I still have the ick from him. It's milder because Ben is the dick of the week for me.
I agree. So, yeah. So this dinner for Amanda, first, they all grilled Kyle about not investing in Carl's business. And then Jesse, in a, I think, classy way, and I think this is probably what you were referring to earlier, he pointed out that Carl was upset and that he understood Kyle's position, but that the two should have a conversation.
Absolutely. A point for Jesse. I think he handled it really nicely because he wanted to make Kyle understand that Carl was hurt, but he did stay neutral. And it reminds you, Jesse does have good qualities. I don't think a boyfriend is one of them at this stage in his life. So I wish he would just own that like Wes does. It would be a better look for him. Because he said it to Kyle in a way, it wasn't gossipy or malicious. Yeah. If anything, he wanted to make sure it didn't turn into a bigger deal or cause a wedge.
Right.
And then at the dinner, we see Bailey throwing out. Everyone was supposed to say something nice about Amanda. So Ben starts talking and Bailey is like, oh, here he goes. He's going to say how he wants to sleep with Amanda. Now, I can absolutely understand why Ben would be annoyed, why everyone at the table was wanting to hide under it. But then they did show an entire compilation of him and Amanda flirting.
Sure did.
And he went up to Bailey's room and what he said to the guys is, I came in this house as a friend of Kyle and Amanda's, so I'm just more comfortable with them because I know them. And I certainly think he was right to talk to Bailey about it. I don't like how he did it. I think he stomped into her room in a way that was condescending and rude. I also feel very strongly that if she was a more established member of the house like Ciara or Lindsay, he would have never had the balls to walk in there and approach it the way he did. But since Bailey is new and with the exception of Levi doesn't have strong relationships yet, it did feel bullying. And I didn't like it. And I also feel Bailey is self-admittedly awkward. Give the girl a break. It's her first season filming. Even Ben has more experience on camera because he was on The Bachelor. I understand he wanted to say something. I also didn't like how the rest of the girls handled it, with the exception of Amanda, because I get like Amanda could have been a little bit put off. That would make sense. But Mia heard it outside the door, and Mia is new too, but Mia is very outgoing and gets her point across. So I didn't like that she listened to it and went down to report. And then the girls went to check on her, but I don't know. It was half-hearted at best.
It's an interesting dynamic because think about Jesse and how he has just shamelessly flirted with Amanda and put these very flirty comments on really all of the women on all of their Instagrams. And it's been a topic on the show, right? And the thing with Bailey, yes, lacking in social awareness, taking it too far, but I felt like what she was saying almost came from this really vulnerable, he's flirting with the married girl when he could be flirting with me.
Yes.
Vulnerability. And that is what I didn't like, especially about the way that Ben reacted. Because first of all, it tells me that either because of the way that it was outsized, his reaction to what she said, because that made me think either he was much more serious with this off-camera girlfriend that we know existed than we thought, or that he really did have some feelings for Amanda and that Bailey got too close to the truth. But what I did not also is that when he went and confronted her, he was trying to get her to say, Bailey to say, that you said this because you like me.
Yes.
And I was
something
like, that
bigger,
just
something
felt
bigger.
mean. It just felt mean.
I think that the whole tone was condescending, like he was better than her.
Yeah.
And it made me see a side of him that isn't likable. I 100%, first of all, we know that he was dating the girl. Whether or not he cooled off to go to Summer House or kept it a secret, it is extremely reminiscent, almost exact to what Andrea did, who later married Lexi. When he was in the vineyard telling Ciara about how he met a girl and he slowed down to come out to the Hamptons for the summer, but he misses her. It is like he's in a relationship like Andrea was, but he knows the producers want him to be flirty and single like they wanted Andrea to be. So he's there, but there's some sort of understanding that people should understand that he's supposed to be a single guy, but he's not. It's no. I also think they're over-exaggerating his good looks. Like, he's cute, but like this whole...
I don't get it with him. I really don't. Oh my God. He's just not.
I think he's one of those people in person is probably like very wow, but either way, he's cocky. He's cocky. It's the simplest way to put it. Yeah, his little lingo is cute. Like when they were all laughing about, and she said, I want to sleep with the missus. It's funny, but I just don't like it. But we got bigger fish to fry because in real time, there are rumors of Amanda hooking up with West. And yes, I'm going to speak on it, guys. If you're a cocktailer, you know that this is literal nonsense. They hung out on a snow day. The fandom went nuts.
And it wasn't just the two of them, guys. It was in a big group of, 6, 8 people.
With that guy, Aiden, who she's rumored to have hooked up with. The thing about it is, it's a rumor that people tried to create a scandal with zero evidence, zero receipts. And here's the thing. Kyle was asked about this rumor in a bar. I believe it was the Wednesday night of last week. And Kyle, when he's in his cups, doesn't always answer things well. Kyle may have wanted to look a little victim-esque. And from what I'm told, made it sound like it wasn't an impossibility that they hooked up. So that's all it was. It's a rumor that went too far. There is zero credit or proof to it. And if there was, I'm pretty sure Ciara will let us know. And in a group of friends like that, to Amanda's point, they were not alone. It would get back to Ciara if something was brewing. And Ciara is liking her pictures for everyone who's saying she isn't. Ciara was traveling. These people are all over the place. So I hope Amanda lands a rich guy. I am manifesting a hockey player after all of her fishy posts at the Islanders game. But I have no doubt that West is her friend.
I agree. I really want to hope that Kyle was just, as you say, in his cups, didn't know what he was doing, because talking loudly about it in a bar, I think he knows well enough that people listen and share stuff with people like us. And I really hope that he was not purposely trying to plant that rumor. And I remember I sent you the post that morning and you're like, oh my God, I've been up all night dealing with this.
Yes.
So like I have a busy day at work and I'll get you all caught up. Cause I was like, I just put the question mark on it because I was like, I didn't believe it even at the time.
No, I never believed it. So then back to the summer, because that was real time. West and Ciara flirty all weekend. Clearly, the Jesse having a crush on Ciara made West jealous. I can tell you, cocktailers are aware from a source in real time, meaning March 2026, Ciara and West are just friends. West apparently has made it very clear. I don't mean to say that Ciara hasn't, but West is still not ready for anything. Did they end up hooking up over the summer? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see a little makeout, but they're just friends as of right now. I did think, and again, West was pretty saucy when he was in the lounge chairs with Ben in the yard, and Ben was asking West about his relationship with Ciara, and I thought it was like really cute. First of all, when Ben was like, I think you guys would be like so amazing together. I wish I was here to witness that. I don't know. I'm not a man, but West clearly. And Dara, the new girl who's hooking up with KJ,
Right.
She actually was interviewed on a podcast, and she said, they were like, so you alluded to what we saw West do with Ciara was he's a great friend. He's the best guy unless you're falling in love with him. Dara was like, listen, yes, I had a thing with West. She goes, but after meeting Ciara and spending time with them this summer, their situation is completely different. And there's definitely something real there, right? And that's West's ex. And she's saying whatever they have is a much deeper connection than what I had. I don't know. I think that Ciara's always going to be the one that got away for him. Because I do, knowing Ciara's personality, like this summer was likely his last shot. I don't think she's going to let herself be vulnerable like that again.
You never know. Give it 3 years and maybe they'll have moved on to other projects, and you never know. I thought it was very sweet when Ben said, do you miss her? And Wes said yes. And Ben, does she know that? And Wes says yes. Oh, it got my heart.
I know.
It just feels like they're so close, but yet so far, like Wuthering Heights. They're pining for each other, but keeping each other at arm's length.
But they're also not 21. So if West isn't ready at 30, will he be ready? Or is that something he's not going to really have?
I just think that
I'm not saying 30 is old. I'm just saying it isn't like he's a kid.
I think he's probably, I'm just enjoying my newly found fame and success.
Right.
And I'm not there yet. And I think that's an honorable and okay place to be.
But does Ciara always pick unavailable men? Because I watched her clips and I listened to her with Carl Radke. And I understand people cannot be people's physical types. But if she wants what she says she wants, which is somebody devoted to her and a best friend and to have a family, Carl loves her. That's not just a crush. He respects her. He admires her. Like watching the clips of Ciara on his podcast, he looks at her the way a man looks at the woman he loves.
Oh, totally. But if it's not there for her, it's not there for her.
I know, but listen, her track record is Austin and West, and it's like she likes these unavailable men. And I'm just going to say it. Austin and West aren't any hotter than Carl. Like looks-wise, they're all pretty similar. Yeah. The only difference is Carl has a more vulnerable personality. So it's almost like Ciara likes the unavailable. She likes
that's what I'm going to say is like maybe Ciara's not ready either, because maybe Ciara needs to do some therapy about that. And this, I'm not saying this in a critical way. I'm saying that she's been very open about the issues that she's had with her father, and that can very much have an effect on how she approaches relationships.
Right.
But it could be that she's not ready either.
Yeah. I could see that. But this season of Summer House is delivering in a way that I don't think we thought possible without Paige.
I definitely did not. I thought Summer House was on, and it's not just because of no Paige. I just felt like it was
past its prime.
I was calling it Couple House 2, 3 years ago, and it felt like everybody was getting too old and nobody wants to see mid-40s people partying their faces off. And while there's still that happening, it's so much more about
Substance. 'Cause
all of
there's
their
real
personal dynamics.
because they're real
And
relationships.
yeah, that's what makes it so good.
Question.
Yes.
Thoughts on the Cartier watch that Kyle got Amanda, knowing that he really is not a gift giver? This was clearly, was this his Hail Mary?
Too little, too late. I saw him, so I haven't watched him on Watch What Happens Live yet, but I saw his clip saying that he would have bought 3 for her if just to see her. That was his highlight of the summer. And I'm like, dude, what a dummy. They've been married for a long time and you're not a good gift giver. And it clearly meant so much to Amanda. Figure it the F out. So I think it's a little bit sad.
And they're both
because-
reposting like the pictures of them from the summer hugging. And he
Yeah.
just reposted her. The next drop of her bathing suit line was today. And he reposted to his stories, congratulations. And then another story, I can still be proud. And there's like I think I'm over being angry at Kyle. And I'm sad for him because I think it's too little too late, obviously, now. And I do think if it hasn't yet, he's going to have to live with this. And I think that when he said on Watch What Happens Live, which, by the way, he did very well on, Danny Pellegrino really took a lot of shots at him, even more so than Andy. And he handled it very well. And he spoke very positively about Amanda. And what he says, and what he's always said, is there was a lot of love there. And that's the part that makes you sad, because there really was. They just couldn't get it together.
I just hope they keeping it classy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Him supporting her new line and them acknowledging the couple that they were and still showing, because a lot of people will be like, you're dead to me, I hate you, and they're not doing that. And
Right.
I respect that, and I like to see it, because it isn't, this is not, and Amanda said it herself, this is not a Scandival situation, period.
All right, you guys, we love you. And till next time.
Bye all.
What's up, cocktailers? We want to thank you, as always, for listening to Cocktails and Gossip. Because of you, we've hit some amazing milestones, had some hilarious conversations, and have grown a truly amazing community. If you haven't already followed our podcast, hit the follow button in the top right of your Apple Podcast player, the follow button under the show logo on Spotify, or the subscribe button on Google Podcasts. We thrive on you, our audience. So make sure to tell all your gossip-loving friends about us too. And if you want to get all the tea, join our membership cocktail party by going to bravoandcocktails.com/join. Our members get access to the exclusive tea we post, the weekly podcast without ads, plus another additional bonus podcast every week. And of course, members also get to join us on our monthly live cocktail party Zoom, where we talk about the latest tea and even share tea that's just too hot to put in writing. Last, but maybe best, our members get access to the Cocktail Party Discord, where you can chat with Amanda, me, and all of the other cocktailers as well. There are always some great convos and hilarious comments happening in Discord. Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you.